Hello, everyone. We are Girls Guts Glory. Thanks so much for tuning in. We've had so much fun with you the last several weeks, getting to play some Dungeons and Dragons. Shout out to Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring this season. Thank you, Wizards. And also Johannes Plenio at coolfreepix.com for some of our sweet background images. I am Kim Daugherty, and I play Daisy Gamwich, and I'm a human Artificer. Erika?
Hi, I'm Erika Fermina, and I play Leaf, your Goblin Druid.
Hi, I'm Alice Greczyn, and I play Velara Nailo, your Centaur Bard.
Hey, I'm Kelen Coleman, and I play Rufus, Rippard, your Rock Gnome Wizard.
And I'm Allie Gonino. I play Alyssum Teaudreyes, your Ladrin Sorceress.
And we have Rachel.
That's me. My turn. Last one left. Hi, I'm Rachel Seeley, and I am your Dungeon Master. So, who thinks that they can do recap and gain advantage? Leaf, give me your recap.
Alright, since I know we're short on time, we kicked Taravel's butt. You know. We got Helena and Eloise back into the Plains of Penitence. We went and grabbed the scepter to go get Lawan. So we entered this beautiful festival. Daisy charmed Lawan into letting us on the fancy flying mechanical goldfish machine.
Yeah.
And Leaf was very scared. I don't think he's ever been that far away from the ground before. And then we went down this huge step down and fought a bunch of zombies to protect Lawan and Mose while they started and finished casting the spell. And there were bulbs, there was fire, there were a bunch of zombies, a giant tidal wave, and a bunch of lizards. And at one point, Lawan got charmed, but we fixed that. And they finished their spell. We got sucked back to the Plains of Penitence, and there was a fire tornado in the sky in the distance, and a sense of urgency.
Red beam of light that went from somewhere out in the Plains of Penitence, in the wastes, all the way up into the sky.
Okay.
And for broad strokes, we're in the afterlife. There are some evil hags. There's like an owl creature who's snowy and evil, and we're trying to take them all down, and we're collecting other adventurers to help us.
Wait, this means I have advantage.
Yes, you do. So write it down and cross it off when you use it.
Will do.
And I will write it down as well. Just because Erika has advantage.
I need to rearrange my computer screen really fast, please.
So, you're all standing at the windows in the medic ward, and Deppin has already...
Do we wait for Erika?
No, keep going.
Okay, sorry.
You're good. So Deppin has led Lawan away, and Lawan had been asking after Mose, who did not follow her, who was no longer with her. And Deppin said that he would explain everything, and very gently took her by the hand and led her outside into the hall. And you're staring out over the City of Judgment, and you see all of these people in the streets, all these souls that have nowhere to go, and they're looking up at the sky. There's clusters of people talking to each other, some starting to panic a little bit, seeing this bright red beam of light. It's vibrant like a cherry and pulsing a little bit. And you get a sense that time is of the essence here. What would you like to do?
Well, Alyssum, you said that your guide told us that we have to move quickly, right?
Yes, I think we should move to the next item and go get Keon.
There's one last item. I say we do it.
Is that the tabard?
Mm-hmm.
It's the medieval poncho.
It is the medieval poncho.
I think it would look good on you.
I would love a tabard. I feel like I would look really slick.
Yeah!
I love it.
And then above the crossing guitar is just a throw up
Rock
horn.
gnome.
That one.
Yeah, I could see that. It's probably your
Anyway.
family crest.
I'm going to walk over to the tabard, pick it up, and throw it over Rufus's shoulders.
It falls and pools on the floor because it is for a figure that is a little bit larger than a rock gnome.
Forgot I'm the gnome.
Yeah.
Lara's trying not to laugh.
It looks pretty ridiculous.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, I just want to say that I think we should all try to be very careful as I'm running low on my abilities.
I'm really not well. Not feeling sprightly, you know.
Well, time is of the
Same.
essence, but let's all be careful. No barging into fights that aren't necessary.
Unless we're dropped into the middle of one.
Well, let's hope we aren't. Artemis, Calliope, everyone.
All right, you hold hands. You gather your artificial friends close and your real friends closer. And once again, Alyssum, you start to channel this portal in the center, this astral portal that you see in your mind's eye, and you start to manifest. Once again, you feel that now familiar sensation of near nausea. There's a tugging somewhere in your sinuses as you're all pulled towards the center. When you open your eyes, there's soft sand underneath your feet.
Well,
And
that's
there are some stepping stones that you're standing on. It's a little cool, seasonably so. There's some sparse trees, some palm trees, some with large fronds. But for the most part, what you see is a small stone temple, and it's set up against a bright orange cliff that is jagged and comes to a point. And right in front of it is this little stone church. Very small. But you find yourselves already sort of starting to walk towards it, as if you know where to go. Your feet know where to take you. And around this church is a small garden that's tended very carefully. The church itself, it looks like it's very old, but it's not in disarray. It's been lovingly cared for. It's very, very small. It's about 1 to 2 rooms. But you see a lovely little garden with a small wooden gate, lots of small white flowers. There are some vegetables and some fruit trees in the back, but you don't see anyone outside.
I search for carrots.
You go around looking for carrots. You find some orange roots. They're very, very deeply orange, and they have some darker orange lines on them. They're not carrots, but you know that you've had something like this before in Mozendar. It's a little starchy, and it's better when you cook it, but it's not awful eaten raw. It's not terrible.
So crunchy. Beef, would you like a bite?
You hand a little piece over to Leaf. Leaf, it actually tastes pretty good. It tastes very much like the stuff from home.
What do you make of it? What is it?
I like it. Oh, should I roll a nature check to see if I know what this is?
Sure, if you want.
I'm
What
gonna
color
try
is
my
it?
green glittery die
Orange.
today. 15?
The 15, it's a root that is not native to where you are. It's native to a bunch of the larger cities down south. It's very popular because it is one of the few things, vegetables or fruit-wise, anything really, crops that grows in the sand and thrives there. You don't know the name, but you know that people use it in cooking a lot.
What does it taste like?
Starchy.
It's very starchy, but it's also very popular. But it might be better. You might like it more if it's cooked, you know.
Especially in butter.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this would be very good in butter, smothered with shavings of garlic.
Oh,
But
it's
I
not.
mean, I like it as it is.
Leaf, you're definitely more used to earthier tastes where you're from. That's really what your tribe eats is earthy fruits and vegetables and roots and things you can just pull right out of the ground. Mushrooms a lot. Is
Yeah,
what you're used to.
it is better than chewing on a stick, though.
It
I
is.
would hope so.
I'm going to take Calliope out, and I'm going to say, Calliope, would you go flitter about and see if you see someone, and come back and let me know.
Sure. Would you roll a perception check for Calliope?
Oh yes, what is her perception?
Could I roll perception as well?
Sure. Anyone who'd like to roll perception, you can go ahead.
So how can you determine if her passive perception is 14? How do I determine what her perception
Does it
is?
say what she uses for her stats?
No.
Okay.
Passive is usually 10 plus.
Plus?
So
plus 4.
wisdom, I think.
Okay. Well, the wisdom is +0, so I don't really know. Her wisdom is
So just roll straight then. If she has a +0, just
Okay.
roll a straight 20 and then tell me your
13.
answer. 13?
Mhm.
Okay. Who else? Who rolled?
17.
17? Okay.
Well,
I rolled a 23.
Okay.
We're just rolling a straight 20 and adding with and perception, you say?
Yeah, your perception check.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It was a 7.
Okay.
Daisy rolled a 20.
All right. So you send your little hummingbird out, and unfortunately, she does have a hummingbird's personality and mind, so she gets distracted by these beautiful tropical flowers, electric blue with a purple center. They're gorgeous and they're rather fragrant. It's a nice crisp smell. And she goes diving for one as soon as she goes from your hand. So unfortunately, she doesn't see anything. Daisy, Leaf, and Velara, you notice there looks like a sandstorm coming from the south, but Velara especially, you would know it looks like it might pass. It would be a near miss, but it might pass. It might not even come towards this temple.
There does appear to be a sandstorm on the way. Maybe it'll pass, maybe not. Best to keep an eye. Leaf, do you have any sort of sandy things
Like,
in your arsenal?
no. I'm from the forest. There's not much sand there, you know.
That's
Leaf, while
right.
you're looking out, trying to think if there's something you could contribute about a sandstorm, you glance at the temple itself and you see there are very small windows that look like they were built for the purpose of shooting arrows out of in a defense. And through one of those windows, you catch just the faintest glimpse of a light going by.
I think someone might be in there.
In where?
The church. Leaf's
Did
just
you
gonna point at the church.
Did you see someone?
someone we might want to know or see.
Well, I mean, they walked by the tiny window.
Oh.
They
Well,
approach the tiny window.
Okay. So you push open the gate and go into the garden further. And you go down this little stone path with these circular flat stones that have been laid into the sand. And you head towards the door where there are 2 of those small windows on either side. So again, a very small 1-story, 2 rooms, one a little bit larger than the other. Very soft, like limestone looking surface on the outside, and one small tower with a brown tin roof on the top. And it looks like maybe there's a bell up there, but it's kind of hard to see. And do you look in one of the smaller windows? Okay. Velara, do you have dark vision?
I do not.
You see, it is a little dark in here. You don't see any light fixtures that are lit up on the inside. No hanging chandeliers or anything. You see one small light moving away from the door, towards what looks like a small altar on some steps. And you see a figure. You see 2 horns. Just the shadow of 2 horns. They curl straight back. They're very elegant looking. You don't really get a good glimpse of the figure, however. But you do sort of, if you squint into the darkness, you can kind of see that they've sat down on the steps by where this altar is. And they're doing something, just don't know what.
I very carefully back up and go back to my crew, and I relay the information. There is a 2-horned figure, quite beautiful, cannot tell the gender. Very beautiful figure, praying. I get very esteemed, ancient, very religious vibes. Who here is the most religious? Does anyone know what church or temple of worship this is?
I'm more spiritual than religious.
I've done quite a bit of research on religion, though I wouldn't call myself religious.
No.
Perhaps see. I'm going to roll a religion check.
Sure, go for it.
Oh, 10.
There's no indicator on the outside of what this temple is for. It is just a small building, very well taken care of, despite the fact that it is ancient. And if it were not taken care of, it would have crumbled easily by now. But other than that, there's no indication, there's no symbols, no signs, not on the outside.
I'm thinking that I'm getting good vibes. Perhaps we should make our presence known so that we do not shock. If I've learned anything from our past escapades.
All right, I agree with you.
Yeah, I feel like we should go in.
Perhaps we could send the little bird in first.
Calliope.
Calliope, come here. She calls to Calliope, who's still smelling the flowers. Calliope, come here, darling.
It takes a moment, but she begrudgingly comes to you, and you notice that her steel snout is covered in pollen.
Yes, I know, but don't you know that you can't really have that? You're made out of metal. I know, I put it in you that you think you're an actual bird, but all right, come now. I'm going to send you inside, and you're going to tell us if anything looks scary, all right?
She nods eventually, and she takes off this tiny little weight from your hand. You see she does send a passing glance at the flowers, but she follows your instructions and she goes to the window. She disappears inside. There's a moment, and then the door opens, and Calliope flies out, and standing at the door is a very old man. He has 2 very elegant gazelle-like horns that go straight back and they twist. Those of you who have seen tieflings recognize one. He has a light bluish tint to his skin, while it's still a beautiful purple. There's a certain shift in the light that turns it blue. And he has small eyes that are wrinkled with age. He has natural, very tight white curls that are poofed out and just in the friar tuck circle. He has a bald patch right on the top. And he is wearing a deep purple tabard, a medieval poncho. And it has a symbol on it. Whoever wants to roll a religion check, go ahead and do so. Symbol of 2 hands, a child and an adult holding hands, and in their combined grasp is a sheaf of wheat sticking out from between their 2 palms.
19.
12.
19.
15.
For some reason, Leaf has proficiency in religion. I don't know why I made that happen, but I just rolled a 21.
Okay. All right. So the 2 of you are both rather learned for being where you're from, especially Leaf. You've read a lot of books when you could get a hold of it. Leaf, you know this deity because some people in your tribe actually pray to the deity. The deity's name is Heron. 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 Heron has no gender, is tied to family trees. They're the deity of home and hearth, They don't really have a physical manifestation that you know of, but they are often accompanied by the smells of home, of fresh baked bread and the gentle warmth of a fire, or the smell of a field, of a harvest, sometimes hay. They're a lawful good god. Everyone pretty much loves followers of Heron because the followers of Heron have dedicated themselves to a life of essentially Quakers, and they do a massive amount of charity work. So often, actually, Velara, they have worked with the followers of the Golden Sun, the Flower of the Golden Sun, showing up at the orphanages where you've worked. So you've seen this symbol once or twice. You may not have recognized it at first because it's not often that you saw them. They don't come to Mozendar very often because it is a kind of a tricky city to live in. But
Daisy, what do you think this god is?
It's Heron.
Heron.
Alicia's gonna pop up. The god of home and hearth. Hearth.
Hearth. Very well. Well, if there's anything I know about these followers, is that they make the most amazing oatmeal bread I have ever had in my life. And they're good people. Anyone who likes oatmeal bread and dedicates their life to the god of hearth and home must be good people.
The old man is leaning outside of the door, and you see he has this crooked-looking walking cane, and he's smiling at all of you, looking a little concerned, and he says, "I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting guests. If you give me a moment, I can go and prepare the hearth if you're looking for a place to stay."
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Oh, Keon.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Well, look at that.
My name is Alyssum.
Oh,
And these are
hello.
my friends.
Okay. Hi. Hello. Yeah, wait, hang on. And he dips a hand into the top of his tabard, and he pulls out these very tiny, thin, gold-rimmed glasses, tiny little circles, and he sets them on his face, and he goes, yes, no, sorry. Blind as a bat. Happens when you get old. Well, do come in. And he leaves the door open for you, and you hear this clip, clop, clip, clop as he backs away.
Wait a minute, is he a centaur?
You haven't seen his full body. You only saw the upper half.
Okay. I hear the clip clop, and my ears definitely perk up, and I like can't help myself. I'm trotting towards where I
Sure.
can see him.
So you go in through the door. That's where he has disappeared. And inside, you can see it a little bit better now that you're not just looking through a window. It is a very modest temple. There's a bunch of offerings here, however. It looks like it's very abandoned and out of the way, but it's obvious that this is a well-traveled place. And the inside is spotless, not a speck of dust anywhere. There's an almost perfect carpet underneath your feet that has embroidery that looks like it's been patched up in a couple of places just by hand. And it depicts a scene of a field and people sowing the field and a light that is not the sun overlooking these workers and their crops. And they offer at the end of this runner carpet, they offer up the cut crops to the light, and they're all smiling. It looks very charming. A lot of the things in here are also handmade. You can tell they were not purchased. Nothing in here is extravagant. But people have left offerings of fruits and vegetables and handcrafted things, lots of hand-embroidered handkerchiefs and small goods. Again, nothing that has been purchased. And you remember the followers of Heron don't accept offerings that weren't handmade. It's an offering in itself to create something for God. That's the most important thing, to make sure that it was made by your own hand. So some of them are a little shoddy. Some of them it's like a handkerchief that just has very awful looking initials or like "thank you" carved into it, or rather embroidered into it. But there's a ton of them here, and they're like piled up all along the walls. There's a couple pews, 3 on either side, and then a podium and a little altar up at the front. and there's a door to what you assume is the second room. And Keon has gone back to these little steps where the altar is. And he's sitting down, and you see he's in the middle of waving a basket. And you see he's not a centaur. But as a tiefling, some tieflings do have cloven feet, and he does. They sort of curve a little bit at the ankle, and there's tufts of fur. It's very soft. It's very sweet.
I love a sweet tiefling.
I love
We
a
love a
sweet tiefling too.
Oh. I should have made him southern. Dang.
We're very sorry to intrude like this. My name is Velara. These are my friends. We were just passing through, and I smelled whatever it is you're baking. It smells delicious.
Ah, rye bread. It is my specialty,
Bread.
you know.
Very nice.
I love a rye bread.
If you would like, I can cut you some.
I would love it.
Yeah, of course. Yes. And allow me to finish this basket. I'm almost done. Would one of you care to help me out? I can teach you.
Yeah. Who wants
Alright.
to go? We all do.
I'll
Yeah.
help you. I love learning anything.
Yes.
So Keon motions you over, and it seems like he has several that are sitting on the altar next to him that he started. So he hands each of you a project that you can work on. Some of them look like baskets. Some of them look like just bowls that are being woven, or sacks, or other things. And you spend a little time there, and Keon teaches you how to weave. And it's like a reed, very thinly cut reed that you're weaving together. But you all now know the very, very basics of weaving.
Oh, a new skill.
So you can jot that down if you want. It's a,
Put that on our character sheet.
yep, weaving.
Basic weaving.
Basic weaving.
This is like basket weaving as opposed to like cloth weaving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basket weaving with
Can,
little
can this be
beads.
applied to leather weaving? To make a guitar strap, maybe?
Not really.
I feel like. At least I have a basis of knowledge.
Sure. Yeah. That would be a different kind of a crafting.
I'm going to
You could always
take it and
braid a little.
expand on it.
Yeah, you don't necessarily weave leather.
Yeah, you can make woven leather straps.
If you braid it.
You can also
But
do
the way the basket weaving that he's teaching you, so it starts off with a bunch of things like tied together at the bottom, and all of these like reeds stuck up like this, and then he teaches you to weave a reed in between. So it's not necessarily like the best for
Flat.
leather, because you're going to have these on the sides that don't have anywhere to go, if that makes sense.
Same idea.
Okay, well, we'll let you roll for it later if you want to. How about
I don't know. I'm just, I was just finding out. Nothing. It has nothing to do with anything.
Okay, so when you spend some time with him, and you're able to quickly pick up this skill, most of you, and you finish pretty quickly. And he smiles and thanks you for your help. And
Keon,
he begins to stand up.
Are you a basket weaver by profession? Is that what you mainly do, or just for
No.
fun?
It's a very simple thing that I can do. I'm not very crafty. And you see his eyes dart over towards a little handkerchief that has been very roughly embroidered. It looks like a 3-year-old did it. But he looks back at his basket, and he looks a little proud. It is my offering to Heron, my god.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes. Well, let me go and get you that bread. I need everyone to roll a perception check.
Ugh.
14.
I also rolled a 14.
10.
5. No. 6.
Okay.
Oh no.
You see him start to walk off. And a little too late, you notice that there is a puddle of lantern oil on the stone that he steps in. And he slips, and he looks like his head is about to smash into one of the pews.
Gonna
How
react.
far are we? Can we react?
Gonna react.
Roll a dex check. Just a basic dex
Can
check.
anyone fly?
Anyone who wants to try and reach out and grab him.
Oh no, wait. I closed my D&D Beyond. Okay.
What the hell? None of my dice like me.
15.
15.
6.
Right.
Wait, can Artemis roll one too?
Sure.
She got 11.
Velara, what'd you get?
9.
Ooh, okay. Erika, don't forget you have advantage.
Oh, I have one last. You know what? I'm going to use my last flash of genius to make mine a 20.
All right, with your 20, you notice his head is headed for a corner of the pew. And Daisy, that would be a fatal hit for someone his age. He would probably hit the corner of that, crack his skull, and bleed out. This is a fatal fall. You slide right in there, you smack into his body, and you sort of grab him at an angle. So you're sitting on your knees, and he's sort of cradled in your arms. He's taller than you, but somehow this is okay. And you saved his life.
Are you all right then?
He looks very startled, and there's a bead of sweat that starts to drip down his face. He goes, I forgot to clean that up.
Yes. Well, I'm glad we were here.
Thank you. You know, normally I would have been able to move faster, I guess. You know, old age, it gets to you.
It could get any of us. We all could slip. Don't you worry. And
Well,
Daisy's going to kind of help sit him up.
Thank you. I'll go get that bread. And he looks perfectly startled, and he goes into that door on the side.
Can I accompany him?
Sure.
With him, I'm gonna walk with him.
Yeah.
in there.
All right, you walk with him, and you come into a smaller room. It has a very simple cot laid out, one fluffy, nice pillow. It looks like the only nice thing that he's allowed himself to have is a very nice pillow. And there's a small, squat oven that has a lovely looking loaf of bread that's not burning, but it's browning to a lovely color, and you can smell it. It's incredibly fragrant. It smells so delicious. And
Did I not tell you.
he takes 2 tea towels and picks it up off of where it's been sitting on the stove. And Alyssum, in fact, everyone, you start to feel that tug back into the afterlife.
Not before we get the bread.
We're
He
going.
sets it down on a plate and he starts to cut it.
Oh,
I just reach out and grab his hand.
Did you follow them into that side room?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you definitely followed them into that side room. You have enough time. He looks a little concerned why everyone is in a start, and he continues cutting the bread, and he passes chunks off to you two, and he puts a couple of other chunks in a tea towel, and you can both take a bite. It is delicious and fluffy. It's almost the consistency of challah bread.
oh,
It's puffy on the inside. It has a slight molasses taste to it. This is a good dinner, dessert, or like a tea cake kind of a bread.
Velara,
Just a
I
little.
want it.
this would be incredible as French toast, don't you think?
Dear gods, do not even say such things without eggs and cinnamon nearby.
He goes, "Oh, I have eggs!" as he starts to leave the room to go and give everyone else a little chunk of bread.
Of course you have eggs. Mister, what can we trade? And I look through my saddlebags to see if I have any sort of foods, spices I can trade. Do I have anything? So I have vanilla pods.
Well, actually, you are starting to feel that tug that says, it's time. It's time to go.
We have to go. I lean into Velara and I say, it's time. We have to get him back now.
You get the feeling that you did it. You saved his life, and it was as simple as that. It was as simple as saving him from slipping on lantern oil.
Do we start to journey back? Or are we like...
You can if you allow it, yeah.
Okay.
You're feeling the tug, and it's getting harder and harder to resist, but...
Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
Keon, would you like to take a journey with us? I'm just going to put my hand on his shoulder. Thank you for the spread. It's quite delicious.
Yes, of course. All right. Let's go on an adventure. I'm getting a good...
A little walk.
Yeah,
Great.
Let's go on a walk.
Fantastic.
So he agrees to go with you. And as simple as that, you get pulled back into the afterlife, and there's Heron standing in the center of the circle. You're all recovering from that slight nauseous feeling you still have every time this happens, but it's getting better. The more you do it, the more you're exposed to it, the less it affects you. And he's standing in the center of this ring of women and a man that he's been working with, and he's holding this empty tea towel, and he looks a little upset because it is empty. It doesn't have any more chunks of bread in it. But he goes, sorry, where did we end up?
Deppin.
Deppin, step in.
Deppin cannot step in. Deppin is not in the room.
All right, Keon. We are actually in the plains of Penitence, which is to say that we are in the afterlife, unfortunately. Here's the thing. You're very powerful, and we are in need of some very powerful helpers to complete this mission that we've been sent to replace a Seert, essentially. Do you know what a Seert is? Have you heard of?
I've heard of those things, yes. And he takes both of his hands and he puts it on the top of his staff, and then he puts his chin down and he says, I see. All right. I will help you.
Wonderful. There's a witch that we need to find. Her name is Neve, and she's currently occupying the Seert title. But she's very evil and does not have any good intentions for the souls that she's currently collecting. So we need your help and the help of some others that we've gotten to find her and find any other witches who might be helping her and stop her.
Yes, of course. This sounds very important. And as he's about to say something else, the door opens and you see Deppin standing there looking a little harried. His little handkerchief that he has in his plaid vest is sticking out in askew. Some of his fur is ruffled and standing on end on the back of his neck. But he notices Keon and he rushes and he goes, oh, hi, excuse me, sir, my name is Deppin, it's nice to meet you. And he holds out one of his teeny tiny little paws, and Keon looks delighted and shakes this tiny little paw in his hand and says, yes, nice to meet you too. And one by one, Deppin ushers in the other members of the party, and you can tell by the way they begin interacting with each other that they know each other very well. They call out each other's name in surprise, and they go to hug each other. And they start conversations as if they haven't seen each other in years. And there's a couple of inside jokes and stories that you don't have the background info to understand. They talk about defeating a giant that one time near Tentown. They talk about the dragon. They mention several other adventures that they've had. This is a full adventuring party that you've gathered, and you brought them back together.
Oh, how exciting. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's really lovely to watch them interact with each other. They clearly care very much about each other. Velara, are you still eating the bread? So you go to
I'm
take a
definitely
bite.
still eating the bread.
You realize there's nothing in your hand, but you still taste it in your mouth. The taste lingers. That sweet molasses. Sadly, it did not come with you.
Very sad.
A ghostly presence of the taste is
I
left.
look around to see if anyone noticed that I'm eating air.
Daisy notices.
So the group sort of pulls their conversation to a close, and Helena steps forward, and you notice that they're all dressed and ready to go. They're not wearing what you saw them last in. Helena's not wearing her beautiful white dress or anything. She's wearing a full suit of armor. And she has a tabard on herself. And she looks ready for combat, and so does Eloise. Eloise has 2 daggers that are strapped to her back, and she has leathers on. And Virgil looks like he's got his staff, and he's wearing a white cloth outfit. Roll a perception check for me.
Everyone?
Everyone, yeah.
Six.
Natural 20.
Ooh!
21.
8,
11.
actually.
Mine isn't worth talking about.
Okay. You're focused on the red light that's still seeping in through outside.
Yeah, my arthritis is also really bothering me, so I've been really concentrated on it.
Doing some arthritis exercises and like stretching your wrists. Both Daisy and Leaf, as you're assessing this party, you're realizing what their classes are based on what they're wearing and what they're wielding. You can tell Virgil is a monk, Eloise is a rogue, Helena is a paladin, Lawin is some kind of spellcaster, you're not sure what, despite the fact that she's wearing leathers. And Keon, you notice, with that nat 20, you're looking at Keon and there's this soft glow to him, Daisy,
Uh-huh.
and you get the sense that maybe he's a cleric. He's a healer of some kind. But that's a full adventuring party, all on their own. And they're looking at you expectantly, and Helena, at the front of the party, this Goliath woman with her ginger hair and her sweet face, she puts her hands on her waist and looks at all of you and says, "Well, you brought us together for a reason, I assume. How can we help?"
Yes, we need your help. There's a band of terrible hags and an even more evil owl type creature, and we need to take them down.
Okay. I mean, we've done worse, haven't we? And they all look at each other and laugh. Some kind of inside joke. And she says, "All right, well, you have the Planeswalkers with you, if that's what you wish." And some of you actually recognize this name, the Planeswalkers. The Planeswalkers are a rather famous band of individuals. When you were still alive, they were still alive, and you were hearing of their escapades, and for some of you, they're kind of heroes. They're idols. They're people you look up to. They're famous for taking down dragons. They're famous for saving whole villages. This is a hardcore group of heroes that you are in the company of.
I've read about you in one of my books.
Helena blushes and goes, "Oh, well, we're not really." And Keon in the background goes, "Yes, of course you have."
We're the Froggers.
It's, you know, it's a working title. I feel like we've become fond of it, though. You know.
As soon as Daisy says Froggers, Leaf is just gonna like put his fist in the air, all excited.
You feel a little wiggle in your pocket. Sebastian sort of does the same thing. A little jump.
I feel like I look at them and I finally give in to this name. That I'm finally like, F it. This is the name, and we like it, and we're the freaking Froggers. Yeah, all right.
Excellent.
This is our name.
Perfect. Strikes fear into your foes. the Froggers.
Comedy can be very disarming.
So Helena looks to you and says, well, what's our plan?
Deppin.
Deppin is wringing his tiny little hands like, okay, well, here's the thing. I didn't want to tell you all at once, but I guess I have to. Joven got some bad news. I don't know what it is. He went to go find Rowena. Okay. So, it turns out that, that light is a bunch of evil souls that Neve is sending back into, the world. It's a bunch of people from lower down in Avernus. There are lots of bad people. And they're going up into, well, I guess the real world. I don't know what, into life. And they're going to cause havoc. And they've destroyed a couple smaller towns, and they've killed a bunch of people. So we need to act quickly. So the hags have split off.
What can we do to stop it?
Well, they're in two groups now. So there's Neve, who we don't know where she is. We assume that she's where that light is. But then there's all the other hags that are coming here.
They're coming to us.
Yeah.
How soon will they be here?
We don't know.
And we had better start sleeping.
We better get rested.
It was Ina that told us. She gave us a warning.
Oh, well, Ina, she said she wouldn't come after us.
Did she? I don't remember. I was really nervous to be in the company of a
Ina
hag.
promised not.
Just a warning, so.
Yeah, she promised to not actively work against us, I think, is what we made her promise.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
guess
that
that's why she told us.
Nice of her to work with us, I guess.
Against us.
Well, can we rest? Can we try to rest as long as possible?
Yeah, you could go back to the Riverside Inn, or you can just sleep in the medic ward, but I don't know how comfy these beds are.
Well, I think it might be better if we just slept right now.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Please wake us if anything is happening.
Oh yeah, of course. I'll scry, and I'll let you know. I'll call you. Okay.
All right.
Cry with the scry.
I'll cry with the scry. Oh, that's funny.
And Deppin, can you see that Keon is taken to a place where he can rest as well?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm gonna set them all up in probably the Riverside Inn too. Although that's very expensive, but it's okay. We can take care of it. So are you heading right to the inn to go to sleep? All right. You head off to the inn to get a long rest. And you all fall asleep fairly easily. Some of you have to do some pretty simple, like drink a glass of warm milk to fall down, or however you have, some herbalism kits get popped out to help you go to sleep quickly and get a full rest. And everyone sleeps really, really well, in fact. Alyssum, in the middle of your sleep, you are visited again. In your dream, you see water. You're surrounded by this forest of thinly stemmed lily pads. You can see above you the sunlight filtering through the water, and it sends that beautiful rippling pattern of light across the seafloor. And these tall, impossibly tall, thin stalks that hold up these massive lily pads above you. And you see beautiful lotuses blossoming. And ahead of you, you part the reeds, you part these lily pads, and you see the ship as before. And you see that dark shadow going back and forth in the forest of lily pads behind it. And eventually, the head peeks out. And it comes to you again. This massive fish. Dark purple scales, tints of gold, a red frill all along the long, long back. It's like a massive water snake. Pure white eyes, looks like it's been blinded somehow or glazed over with age. And it stops in front of you, massive creature, a little intimidating. And you hear a voice in your head again, and it's the same voice you've always heard. It's very gentle and very soothing. And she says, "You're going somewhere very dangerous. And I don't know how far my influence will extend where you are. I needed you to be prepared in case I get cut off."
Do you think it's something I shouldn't do?
I think it's something you have to do. Things up here are dire. Many people are dying. But they're not going into death. They're not resting. As soon as they die, they come back, not as themselves.
Because of
It's
me?
chaos. Because of Neve. She has become a barrier between life and death, and she will not let anything pass through that she does not put through herself. I have to admit I'm shocked that there wasn't a better security put in place.
Why do you think it was so easy for her to break through?
I don't know. I can't answer you that. I wish I could.
Is there any sort of spell or something I should say? I mean, I feel pretty confident in my team's ability to complete this. But should I not be able to reach you or call on your strength? Is there anyone else or anything else I could say?
I have one ally. Many gods have forgotten me and forgotten the part I played in securing their places. She says one single name, and it echoes in your ears in a strange way, like it's being spoken through a tin pipe. And it's quiet and far away, and you start to feel yourself getting pulled from the stream. But you hear the name Anachek, and it echoes. Anachek.
Thank you.
There's a profound sense of sadness as you leave, and you realize it's not coming from you, it's coming from her. There's a sense of loss. There's a sense of love and duty, and a very small sense of hope. It's weak, but it's there. She's putting a lot of faith in you, and you feel it. You wake up before the others, and you feel a warmth going through you. And it's the first time in the City of Judgment that you've really felt a temperature of any kind, because it's so numb and so neutral here. It's just beige. But you feel warmth, and it's comforting. And you realize it's coming from your ring. And it reminds you of your father.
There seemed a river. I'm going to go downstairs and see if I can grab some breakfast before we get on our journey.
You do so. You go downstairs. There's a generic-looking human barkeep with a balding hairline and a sour disposition. You've seen him before a couple of times. His name is Willis. And from behind the counter, he once again passes you a breakfast that you guys have had in this inn several times. It's just porridge. There's a couple slices of bacon, there's some toast, 1 or 2 scrambled eggs. It's enough to share between all of you. And while you're down there, in fact, you see another figure. You see a high elf you've never seen in this part before. He's dressed very extravagantly. Bright colors, which are... This place attempts to dull them, and it doesn't quite do it. He has makeup on that is very flamboyant and bright. Lots of lines, sharp edges. And there are places where there are little fake diamonds that have been put on his cheekbones. And he's sitting at a table in the corner, bouncing his leg, looking around, as if he's waiting for someone.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
I'm Alyssum. What's your name?
Okay. Rick Meager. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I just wanted to compliment. I love the crystals or diamonds or whatever they are.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, well, I guess I must have passed in the middle of a concert. That really sucks.
Concert? Are you a musician? Or were you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know-
sorry.
That's fine.
I'm not from...
It's fine. It's okay, darling. Don't worry about it. I'm not hurt. Just a very famous musician. It's fine. No, listen, Alyssa, I was looking for a friend of mine, and I've heard rumors that he's here.
Rufus.
How did you know?
Oh, he's a friend. We've become friends.
Great guy. He hasn't slept with you yet, has he?
Has he slept? No. What?
No. Okay, good. No, I mean, I was just asking, just in case.
Really?
You know, sometimes the musician lifestyle, it gets never mind, you wouldn't understand. Where is he?
Well, he's sleeping right now, but he should be down in just a little bit.
All right, cool. I'll just wait here then. If you go and tell him Rick Meager's here, that'd be great. I'd love to see him.
What was your last name?
Meager?
Meager. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Rick Meager.
Rick Meager.
Yeah.
That does have a ring.
If you tell him the dandy with the diamonds, he'll know. He'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay. I turn back around. I grab a muffin off of a nearby plate, take it with me, and walk upstairs. I'm going to open the door of our room and see if anyone is awake yet.
Is my magic in me?
I hate interrupting people's sleep.
Good morning. Oh, what do you have?
Oh, hi. It's a muffin. There's a whole breakfast downstairs. Okay. I'm gonna walk over to Rufus. Rufus.
Nigel on.
Rufus. Hi.
What's happening? Where am I? What's happening?
I have very exciting news. I hope you'll find it exciting anyway. There's a gentleman downstairs, a dandy with some diamonds on his face.
Wait, sorry, hold on. I have a bit of a morning, well, you know, it's not a hangover, right? But I have a bit of a morning, you know, fog. Did you say a dandy with diamonds?
Yes? Is that bad?
Wait, you're telling me that Rick
Meager.
Goldfinger's Meager is downstairs?
Yes, he's very excited to see you.
No! I feel like I'm 18 again. Oh, hold on, will you take me there? Oh, I need some pants. I need pants. Here's pants. Hold on. I have to fit it over that one. Okay, here we go. All right, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
All right, I follow you.
All right, you both head back downstairs.
I'm not missing this. I'm like slowly walking behind.
Velara accompanies. Rufus, you see Rick lounging in a chair at a table. It's the man that was your idol for so long, and he became one of your closest friends. And here he is in the afterlife.
Going up. He hasn't seen me yet.
Are you gonna sneak on him?
I'm sneaking up.
Roll a stealth.
He was very. He seemed to be very upset when I said I didn't know him.
Oh no, is it not stealthy? This, computers, you have very many things on them. It's only an 11.
So he is focused on his nails, and one of the diamonds pops off his face, and he sort of like licks it and then sticks it back on. But as he's doing that, he notices you on the stairs, and this tall, beautiful, angular half-elf man jumps up and runs over and picks you up into a tight hug and swings you around, and he's yelling something in his thick accent, and you can't quite understand what it is, but you know, oh God, it's Rick.
Oh, Rick! Freaking Goldfinger!
Oh, buddy, I thought I'd never see you again!
I mean, I definitely did. I'm freaking dead!
I know, I'm dead
You're dead!
too!
We're both
I'm in the
dead!
middle of a concert! What the fuck?
Dead, but now we can do it in here!
A concert for the dead. Oh my God, that is so extra, and I love it.
Just so grateful that we're dead.
We're
Wish
so
we had a
grateful.
good band name we could have.
Man, you know what?
I
I'm so
do.
glad to see you here. I mean, I'm not glad to see you here. I'm glad to see you. You know?
I'm glad. I'm so glad to see you. It brings back all. I mean, I literally haven't moved that fast in this whole time I've been in this
I
plane.
know. We're old men, we are. We're old.
You look great.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I have some arthritis problems. I can only open my fingers this much.
I
you
mean,
know.
listen, I have arthritis too, and it's mostly like the prestidigitation that makes me
Okay.
look okay. There's some wrinkles in here. Don't look too close, I'll slap you silly.
I mean, man, if you don't mind me asking, how did you die?
I remember, you know, the little drinks I have on stage? My little, you know, not cap. I had one of those, and I might have had too many, and I went to go stand on top of the drums.
Yeah.
I
That
think
was
I
a good move you did when you spread eagle and you
Yeah.
know spread eagle, Goldfinger. Yeah.
yes, the little spread eagle go finger.
Yeah.
I think I spread eagle too much, and I remember falling.
You
I
didn't make
don't
it to the
remember.
Goldfinger part.
Yeah, I missed
That
that
big
part.
solo, you know, just didn't
Yeah.
happen. Soloed in the
Yeah.
sky is what you did.
My 20-minute guitar solo. Listen,
I mean, if you had to go,
of course it was gonna be that way. Like, of course.
of
it was.
course,
And it was a big stadium too. I remember there were lots of people.
of course it was your Rick fucking Meager.
You died on stage? That is
Yeah.
epic.
Oh
I
yeah, you
always knew.
at Alyssum.
No, like, bruv, I always knew that was the way I was gonna go, right?
Yeah.
That's the way, innit?
Yeah, I don't really remember how I died, to be honest, but I feel
No?
like maybe it had something to do with the booze.
Was it the booze? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I was sober. We got here. I couldn't remember shite.
Yeah, you know what? I can't remember a whole lot. I can remember dying, and I
Cut
remember
back in
you,
pieces.
obviously. And I
Yeah.
heard, you know, rumors there was this other rock star here, and I was like, if it's that fucker, you know, I'm not going to even say his name. I don't like it. But if he's here,
Oh.
no. But it was you.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine. Magnolia, I'm not going to see Magnolia. He can, whatever. Anyways, exes. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, mine are still alive, but my baby mama, my son. Have you seen my son? Was he your roadie still?
Yeah. I mean,
He
yeah, of course
was.
he was there. He was
Jukebox
doing good.
hero.
Yeah. Yeah. Your little boy's doing great. Yeah. There was someone who was sweet on. I don't remember. Anyways. Just got to
He's
see-
alive and well, and he misses his old dad, and no.
Yeah, of course he does.
God, this witch, we have
Listen.
hag problem. Did she tell you about the hag
He was-
problem?
What? She who what?
Well, all right. So we're here basically. We're now an adventuring party. Have you ever heard of this?
You?
It's like a band.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to be in one when I was little, but well, the rock life chose me, you know.
Yeah, I do. You know.
Yeah.
Well, we now are in this whole mess where we have to save all these souls because there's something called a seer who's supposed to be, you know, salting souls. And this old hag, this witch, this owl-faced broad has, you know, stepped in.
This what? Wait, no. Real fluffy, like.
Yeah.
With horns.
Yeah.
Bruv, that's not good.
You know her.
I haven't seen her, thank God. There's
sexual.
stuff. What? No. Oh God, no.
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
don't swing that way.
Not his type.
I ain't into the animals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not my type.
Remember when you tried it with me? It almost happened. It almost happened.
Really?
Well, you know, I was thinking about it you know, you made it anyway.
I mean, I am quite appealing, but anyways. No,
you're beautiful.
This. Thanks. No, this girl. This bird. Bird. Get it? Bird.
Yeah.
Bad news. No, she's bad news. She's a big deal. There's a lot happening up in the north, up in the mountains. It's not going well. Listen, when I left, and it's been a while. I mean, there was that whole like 2 year and a half stint where you disappeared, and your son and I we spent a lot of that year looking for you, but we couldn't find you at all. And we had to stop at some point, and I'm sorry about that. We still don't know where your body is, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Listen, stuff started to hit the fan. I think I've been dead for a while.
Yeah, if you start having memory back, that's when you know it's been a while, because you get it back slowly.
Yeah. Well, so when I left the old upside world, man, it was looking bad. There was a bunch of like zombies popping up, and things started. The ice is moving down, like things are freezing, and everything's becoming like a snowy place. It's all winter festival everywhere, but not the festival part, just the winter part. You know what I mean? It's bad.
Yeah, this broad is making it. Basically, is bringing up hell or your souls from down here up there.
That sucks. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot more, the city guard were doing their best, but the crypts were like overflowing and they couldn't do anything about it. And then these undead would like pop up out of nowhere, and then they'd get killed, and then all of a sudden somehow there were two left. Like they just keep popping up, and sometimes when you chopped one down, it would get back up and it would like sew itself together, and I don't know. It's bad magic up there. Bad magic.
So what are you doing? So what are your plans down here? I mean, do you want to join us?
Oh God.
No,
Listen,
you don't want to save the...
I'm not a good fighty. I mean, look at my shoes, and he shows you these massive red hot platforms that have like flames on the sides.
Yeah.
Huge. And he's like, I can't run into you. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
I think you're fighty.
I'm not fighty. I'm like fighty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My name is Velara. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, hey,
Hello.
sorry. I didn't introduce you to the rest of my friends. All right. I mean, this one can dance. You should see all four of her feet dance. Crazy.
I knew a Centaur once.
Did you?
It was lovely. I wanted to pursue that so bad.
Yeah, you should have, man.
Nah.
You really should have. We're really good in bed.
A lot of limbs as well. Just saying. Who else is down here? Where is Daisy and Leaf? Are they still sleeping?
Asleep.
Leaf is probably gonna wander down.
Oh, this is our little Leaf. Hi, little Leaf.
Have we had our full rest?
You have. You've all had your full rest, so you can go ahead and check out the long rest. As Leaf comes down the stairs, Rick actually looks to you, Rufus, and he goes, "Is that a baby?"
He's not a baby. He's actually a goblin.
Oh, I know he's a goblin, but he's not real small. Is he like a baby?
He's young. He's a young one.
Okay.
Isn't he young? You got it.
Hello,
Very
baby.
young man, gentleman.
Leaf's in the middle of reaching for a muffin when he hears baby, and he's just gonna
Hello. You're a
look,
cute little
look
thing.
around.
He's a sweet boy. He really is a sweet boy.
Are you
Yeah, a cute little face.
He's a man.
pointing at me?
Yeah. Hello. I'm Rick. Rick
Hi.
Meager? No? All right.
He's a friend from back in, the upward part of the world. And
I mean when you're alive.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I mean alive, I mean the most alive you can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We lived, well, like rock stars,
Yeah, truly.
What's a rock star? I know Rufus is a rock gnome.
I'm a rock gnome wizard. Yeah, that's right. But basically adored all over the world for playing music on stage in front of millions of people, maybe thousands sometimes, if you couldn't get top dollar.
I mean, I
wasn't-
understand you're a baby.
I'm an adult.
How old are you again, Leaf?
I'm 10.
You are a man.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
Anyway.
we hear,
Your friends know who I am. That, I guess it knocks my ego down a peg.
Listen,
I grew up in the woods.
Honestly, I don't get out much.
They didn't know me, so.
Not really.
Well, not only that, but we didn't remember who we were. So when we got here, I couldn't even show off.
Like the magic in me. No one knew.
No one knew the magic in me. We didn't even have special treatment getting through the lines of penitence.
Oh, well, I guess neither did I.
Yeah.
We were in that line, and it took hours to get through that.
When's the last time you waited in line? Not even for the loo. People spread the wine, spread the seas, the urinal. You go straight to it.
It was 200 years ago. I actually remember that.
Good year.
Yeah, wow.
all of a sudden you hear, and Artemis comes running down the stairs,
What is that thing?
followed by Daisy, who's just waking up.
What
She'll
is
tell
it?
you. She'll tell you everything. She's a good, very, very brainy sort, and she has good Daisy, hello,
Oh.
darling. Daisy,
I slept in.
yeah, this is my friend, Rick
Hello, Life.
Meager.
Rick Miga.
You ever heard of him?
That sounds familiar. Are you a musician too?
Yeah, in it. I guess so.
I think I read about you in a book.
Oh, what book?
A music book. Is that correct?
He
I
says
mean,
he's a rock star.
I am a rock star. Thank you, baby.
Oh wait, what is your song name?
Well, which one?
The most famous one.
Raise the dead?
Raise the dead.
Party hard and raise the dead. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, yes, I know who you are.
All right, that's one. One of four. All right. I mean, I'll take it.
Is there any coffee?
I feel like this is some brew, witch's brew over there. If you want to go and find it,
Yes. Nice to meet you,
Rick.
Miga.
And that's a little bird, mechanical bird, and that's a big ass
Sorry,
timber.
Calliope and Artemis. Artemis is hungry, as you can see.
He's a giant tin pig.
All right, Dad, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I have to correct you. It's a hippopotamus.
Yeah, giant tin
what?
pig.
A hippo-
Tabard, medieval poncho. Hippopotamus, giant tin pig. My brain.
Whatever. I need coffee.
I remember. Wait, Rick, do you not also play that game, that sport where it's on ice and you push a puck around? What's it called?
Hockey?
Hockey.
No.
That's
Right.
American shit.
Matt, look at my body. I'm not a sports person. I'm not an athlete.
Oh, okay. I thought
I'm
Rick McGee.
I don't know what that is.
No.
And not Bob Seger either. I heard
Not
about that.
Bob Seger.
No,
Thank
Rick
you very
Meager,
much.
not Bob Seger. Remember that rap that one bloke did about you? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. You
Seeger.
know.
It's
we
not
were
Bob
good friends.
Seger. It's Rick Meager.
I
Coming
shagged
at
him.
you, raised from the dead. Party
Nobody
hard.
cares that I
Hit
shagged
me in the
him.
head. The other verses were better.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that was after. Anyway.
Rick, you're making me feel like I'm on the booze again. I'm laughing.
On the
with joy.
Is there any booze here?
You know what? I'm in hell. I'm out with penitence of planes of whatever. I might as well get back on the sauce.
Although, last I remember, a band of hags is headed our way.
Oh,
Right. Yeah.
And updates on that.
Yeah. All I really came here to tell you was that upstairs shit's fucked.
What?
Sorry.
Oh yeah, Daisy.
Yeah. In the upstairs world, you know, land of the living, it's bad. When I left, it was very bad. People are dying, and that bird is
Oh,
I don't know, running around in the north doing something.
bird.
Yeah, the bird.
Owl.
But she's a bird, you know, like a
Yes.
bird, like a gal.
Oral.
An
Oral.
I don't know her name. I just know that she's got a
Neve.
bird face. No, bird
No.
face. Bird
It's
face.
the hag.
Bird face, fluffy with the horns.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
The one
that
who
one
killed us.
killed us.
Yeah.
Is she really?
Yes.
Yeah.
All of us.
So,
You know, a bunch of these like spires of ice started showing up in places, and they were all over. There was one in Bosun Dot. So I mean, when you went missing, we all kind of thought, but no one goes near them. They were in some old temple that nobody goes to anymore. It was kind of hard to find, to be honest. I went there myself, but it was oh god, I can't remember. There was some kind of painting on the wall of a person wearing a cloak. Some funky deity had like 4 arms and a funky face and a green brooch and
I have a green
like
brooch.
weapons and stuff. Yeah, a green brooch.
I have a green brooch.
Okay. Rad.
I don't know. I don't quite remember where it came from, right? I don't quite remember where it came from.
You start to get an image of a wall. And you remember, as Rick is talking about this, you remember prying a green gem out of what was essentially a mosaic on the wall of this figure in a white cloak with 4 arms holding a scimitar with a horse skull.
What do I know what it is? Do I remember more than that?
It's a green brooch. You feel power in it, but you don't know what it means.
I just had a vision of prying this brooch from a creature like what Rick just described, from a deity with the arms and the.
wait. What you said? Okay, what did its face look like?
A horse skull. Is that right?
Did anyone? I'm not sure if I remember this, so to let me know if this is not appropriate. Do I remember what I saw right before I died now because it's been so long?
Yeah, as you all sit here and try and remember, you remember the last thing you all saw before you died. You remember the ice that you were all pulled into. Some of you were in temples where there was a pond in the center and there was this spire of ice that you got pushed or pulled into or shoved into. Leaf, you remember the hag that was dead downstairs in her tower. You remember the stone you took from her in the top floor. You remember the white, snowy owl woman that you think killed you. You all remember.
I remember my death.
I remember my death.
What you remember is cold as you think on it desperately. You remember the last moments, and then you remember more. You remember standing together in snow, in the cold. You were leaving a town. It's so fuzzy. It feels like you're watching this through a fog, but you remember all together. All of you together in a party, and you remember trudging through the snow up towards a mountain, leaving the safety and warmth of a town behind. And you remember a noise that sounded like lightning striking a tree as a creature flew up and its shadow blocked out the sun. A giant dragon made of black ice shining in the little sunlight that there is. And you remember getting to the foot of this mountain knowing there's very little time. You feel the rush as your hearts are beating and your lungs burn as you're struggling towards this mountain. And when you get to the foot of it, you notice the door. You go through the door. You know where it is. You go into the mountain and you see the city. And you see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dead waiting. And then the vision fades. And that's what you remember.
Do you all remember being together?
Yes. In the snow.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey,
But that's-
remember when Daisy saw the date and it had been a year and a half after you died?
Yes.
Well, maybe that's what it was. We were in the snow or something.
The snow.
Well, it's interesting because originally I remember dying alone in the snow.
I remember having a friend.
Yeah, I remember going alone and then seeing a tapestry with the guy with the skull. I say guy, might not be a guy. And all these shadows of, space of people, I guess, following him or something.
Those that in your origin game went to temples and saw this tapestry, it was several of you, or this mosaic. I think it was everyone but Leaf. You saw in some case a depiction of a figure in a white robe with 4 arms and a horse skull. And now that you remember it, now that you've been able to access that memory, you've seen this person before. You know this person. You know this deity. It's the Seert. These temples, these places in complete and utter ruin, abandoned, that you went, where these ice spires sprouted, were temples of Seert, except in Leaf's case.
Then maybe I wonder if the vision of us being together upon our death, what if it's a premonition?
Yes.
Am I able to do like an insight check
On what?
to see if the vision that we all just had was our actual passing moment, all being together, or if it was a premonition?
Roll a perception check. Or no, roll a history check.
Can I roll one too?
Sure. Anyone that wants to roll one can.
19.
15.
Leaf's just going to be talking about how if the year and a half was between the death and now, how he's actually 11.
An important distinction.
21.
All right.
I rolled
Five.
an 11, so I'm distracted listening to Leaf.
You are, actually.
Being like, yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you. It must have passed when we were in the snow, I guess.
We will have a belated birthday party for you. What sort of sweets do you like?
I like berries. And he's going to put his hand in his pocket and pull out a bunch of good berries.
Perhaps Kion could make a berry pie. We will ask him after the fight.
So, Daisy, Rufus, and Alyssum, you ruminate on these visions that you've just had that are seemingly fresh memories. They seem like memories, not premonitions. And again, you know that in death, when you die, your memories get played with a little bit. There was a word that Deppin used to describe them. They're accessories. Sometimes they aren't when you are put into death. Sometimes they're not necessarily put back in the right place. And you don't have access to them right away. It's the fog of death, if you will. But it doesn't feel like a vision of the future. It feels like something you lived.
Interesting. So we
of death.
So do we know each other before we died?
That's what I'm thinking. Interesting.
Or we knew each other right as we died.
Yeah, or just at all the same place at the same time.
We got brought together and then died.
Leaf is 11.
Oh yes, happy birthday, Leaf.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. Do you think that... So, I got sucked into some ice. Or
Yeah.
pushed in, Do you think that's what... Do you think maybe those were like, you know how Deppin teleported, like his little circle? Do you think...
Perhaps it was a portal to that snowy land.
Yeah.
And then we all died in the snowy land, which is why we all were frostbitten.
But I thought we already died.
I did too, but that would actually explain why we all showed up together.
It
Wow.
would.
If you remember, which you do, in the beginning, in the very, very beginning, when you opened your eyes here and you were in line, there were 6 tiles with gold outlines of your feet, and only parties could go together.
Interesting.
So
think we
we
were a
must
party.
have been a
I've
party.
been during party this whole time.
Who?
Do you think we were the Froggers then? Or do you think we had a different name?
I'm hoping we did.
You said you liked it, like
You know,
last night.
it's grown on me, man. It's grown on me, man. 11 years old.
I wonder, where's Deppin? Is he around?
Deppin is probably back at the bureau. You're at the Riverside Inn right now.
I wonder, you see, I lean over to Rick. You see, we have to get a move on this mission of ours to get this ugly hag, Neve. So I think we need to come up with some sort of plan, yes? Strategy session for when we're going to leave, get everyone together.
Okay, well, I just wanted to say hello to my buddy.
Oh,
but
buddy.
if you have to go, I understand. Again, dire up there, so I get it.
Rick, just so you know, there's a big band of hags about to come here.
Oh,
So if you don't want to be involved, you know, shoes and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're too beautiful. They're too beautiful to mess up, really.
Oh,
And apparently, I'm part of an adventuring party, so I'm gonna kick some butt.
that's really cool.
It's really cool. So I feel like you should get out. You should skedaddle.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
listen, before I go, I wanted to give you something. And he reaches into his little side pocket in his very, very tight bell-bottom pants, and he pulls out this guitar string that looks like it's pure gold. And it's thrumming a little bit in his hand. And he passes it off to you, and he says, I want you to have this as good luck.
Thank you, man. I don't even know what to say.
Give us a kiss, right here.
All right.
Oh, perfect. All right. That's all I wanted. All right. You go, you save the world. I'll be here having a pint with I don't know, what's his name behind the corner, behind the bar.
Oh, that's Nigel. We call him
That's
Nigel.
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 His name was Willis.
Oh, that was the other one. Whoops.
Nigel Willis.
Maybe he gave me Nige, but you know, there's a lot of people in the Plains of Penitence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you guys headed next?
Well, we could either scry to Deppen, or maybe we should just go try to get our troop.
Yes, let's just go to the bureau.
In my little, I have like a vest on, maybe leather vest. I'm gonna put it in my little inside pocket,
Okay.
right above my heart.
So all together, this adventuring party, you leave the Riverside Inn and you head back to the place where you first came into the afterlife. The sky is red at this point, this bright red light. It looks like the sky is blocked out by smoke from a fire. It looks apocalyptic. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Woo! Woo woo! Break. And we're back from break.
Hey,
The girls, the guts, the glory.
The glory.
all of it.
Headed to the glory. Already got the guts. So when we left off, you guys were headed towards the bureau. And again, it looks positively apocalyptic. It's very California at this moment. It's red. Everything is a tint of red because of this light that has been shot into the sky. And at the tip of the light, you actually see what looks like shadows swirling like mist. You don't know what that's about, but you head to the bureau. and I assume you're going to the 5th floor looking for Deppin, or you can go to the 3rd floor, which is where the Medieval is.
Or wait, I think we wanted to go get or maybe we should get Deppin first and then go get
The other party.
The planeswalkers.
yes, which they're at the inn. But I think maybe we should strategize with Deppin.
Let's go to Deppin.
What?
Let's go see Deppin.
Go see Deppin.
Make a plan
Yes,
Yeah.
with the little man
a little man.
and the tiny little hand.
So you go up to the 5th floor to go see Deppin. You go to his door, it's the 3rd on the right. And you knock and there's not an answer.
Okay. Well,
Make a perception check, Alyssum. Or anyone who's near the door, you can make a perception check.
it's going to be a 22.
Easy. Well, with a 22, you hear what sounds like murmuring on the other side of the door.
I think he might be in there with someone, or someone is in there.
With your 21, you only hear one voice.
22.
22, you only hear one voice and it is Deppin's.
Oh, Deppin is in there. I'm assuming maybe he's talking to himself because it doesn't sound like there's anyone else.
Could he be on the scrying glass?
Possibly.
Well, you would hear another voice, wouldn't you?
Well, either way, he's not answering for a reason, so maybe he doesn't want to be bothered.
He's probably practicing his beat poetry. Just a guess.
My ear to the door and see if I can hear anything.
Yeah, why not? You press your ear to the door. Your ear to the door. You try and hear what's going on the inside. It sounds like he's asleep.
Oh, precious
You
angel.
hear some snoring and you hear some murmuring, like he's talking in his sleep.
Oh, he's sleeping. Precious baby. Should we wake him up? What do you think?
Yeah, we need him.
Yeah, there's a band of hags on the way. We should definitely wake him up.
All right. Deppin, it's time for you to wake.
Yeah.
Wake up, Deppin, wake up.
You hear a snort from the inside of his office, and the door swings open, and Deppin is standing there looking totally disheveled. He's got a paper stuck to the side of his face, and he's looking up at you like, I'm awake. Sorry. I don't normally need sleep, but I guess I'm really stressed out.
Do you live in your
Okay.
office?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes. Come on, it's fine, come on in.
Yeah, all right, let's go in.
To you because we need to get the show on the road, so to speak, and wanted to talk to you about strategy. So there's 2 groups, right? You said? Or
Yeah.
you. So do you think we should maybe split up the parties? Go after 2 at once?
Yeah. Probably.
Perhaps we send the planewalkers to greet the hags that are on their way, and we try and go and get Neve.
Yeah, I don't want to split up with you all. I just, have our group stay strong. Their group, they can be strong.
Froggers after Neve. Planeswalkers after all the other hags.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a strategy type of person unless it's chess, but I'm really not. I'm not very good at dragon chess. I haven't won a single match. But
Let's smoke outside, Deppin.
I don't really know what it is. We don't get smoke here in the afterlife. Yeah, I don't know.
Do we still see the like? It was like the red smoke, was it, or was it the beam?
The beam of light is still there. Yeah. When you last saw it, it was like catapulting through whatever ceiling or sky is here, and you saw shadows that were twisting around it.
Leaf's gonna. Is there a window in Deb's office?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Well, if that beam of light is where Neve is, we know where to go then, right?
I mean, I assume, so you know that, Jovid left. He's looking for some help, but I think he'll be back. He's just conferring with some people real quick. But he's trying to get you guys some help, some backup that could go to you. Yeah. Sorry I don't have better news. But we assume, I mean, we've never really known, the hags are so secretive, we don't really know where they hang out, but we know it's in the Plains of Penitence somewhere. We just don't know where. But, I mean, we need to find out what that light is anyways, so.
So, we could go after that light and see if Neve's still there.
Is he like it?
Yeah. And maybe the planeswalkers can go after the other group of hags then.
Where are the planeswalkers?
They're at the inn. I think they haven't come back here, so I assume they're there.
I feel like we should discuss with them too without volunteering them to do something.
That sounds fair.
I mean, I sort of told them what was happening, and they knew that they were probably going to get into a fight one way or the other, which is why I ended up giving them all of their armor and stuff from the acquisitions department. But, I mean, they're ready. They know what they signed up for, pretty much.
Well, then do you want to relay the message to them? And we'll just head to Neve's.
Okay, yeah, if that's what you want, I could go and tell them. And he, like, plucks the piece of paper that was stuck to his face off, and he sets it down. And he's got, you can tell there's very faint ink on his face, where he fell asleep on a paper that he was in the middle of writing.
Was it beat poetry?
Was not beat poetry, but make a perception check for me.
Hey! It's gonna be bad. My dice hate me today. Oh, wait. No, it's not horrible. 16.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty close to his face. You can peer down on his cheek and see on his fur imprinted. There's a date, and it starts, you don't get a whole lot of the text, but it starts with Dear Diary.
Oh,
He was just writing a journal.
little Deb.
Our sensitive little soul.
Is he still right in front of us?
Yeah, he's still there. He looks very tired. There's this vibe that ferrets get when they're really stressed out, where they kind of like wiggle their neck a little bit like a noodle, and he's kind of doing that, like looking around.
Aww.
And his mouth is open just a little bit, and you can see all of his teeth. He's not baring them, but he almost is. It's just a stress reaction that ferrets have, and Deppin's definitely having that. He's just...
Oh.
Deb.
Yeah.
Do you want a good berry? And Leaf's gonna pull a handful of berries out of his pocket and just like hold them up to him.
Yeah, okay. And they're actually pretty big in his hand, because he's got teeny tiny little paws, little claws, that he pops a whole one in his mouth and he goes, "It tastes like Mama's pastries. This is really good. Thank you."
You're welcome.
Oh, I have some. And he's got like berry juice on his mouth, and he pats it away with his little handkerchief and then sticks it back in his pocket, and he goes, "Okay." And he straightens his, it looks like you've actually bolstered him a little bit, and he straightens his little plaid vest, and he pulls out his teeny little glasses and sticks the little nose pierce on his nose. And okay, I'm ready to go. Thank you. Okay, you can. I know that you know the way out, so I'm just. I'm gonna go. Okay, bye. And he rushes over with his teeny tiny little feet over to the elevator.
Do we still have the scrying glass so we can get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can talk to me whenever. Actually, I would really like to hear from you guys and see how you're doing. So if you could update me sometimes, that would be really great. It's gonna take you a while to get through the waste because I think that light is pretty far away. So you're gonna be gone for and he looks at the little sundial that he's got strapped to his own wrist, and he goes, it's gonna be a couple days in your time, but yeah, just keep me updated, please.
We will. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and Deppin.
Oh yeah.
We love you.
I love you guys too. Okay. I gotta go. Okay, bye. And he hurries off towards the elevator, slams the button, and you hear that little grung at the top of the elevator start playing, and he goes, "Not now, Rubricht!" And the elevator music stops.
All right, shall we
Now
go?
you're alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does everyone feel fed, ready for this journey? Everyone's got their weapons and special potions. And
Do we
Belle's up
want to get any extra, like, food or anything before we go?
provisions to take, sure. Yes, if we have any knapsacks, we should fill those for sure. Let's run down to the dining hall. We're just on our way out.
All right.
All right, so you head to the dining hall of the inn that you were at? Yeah. It's just the main entry, and Willis is again behind the counter. You don't...
Oh, we lost you.
Oh, am I back? Whoops. Okay. So, sorry, a bad connection. You head back to... Hold on. You head back to the inn. It's just in the entrance. And you see Willis behind the counter as usual, but you don't see Rick anymore. It looks like he's moved on somewhere. Yeah. Willis is just cleaning a glass.
Maybe we should just take some of these muffins, and I mean, we are about to save a lot of people, so I think it would be okay if we just took some of these fruits and anything that you can put in your pack.
Velara is stuffing muffins wrapped in napkins into her saddlebags.
Gold pieces for them.
Okay, yeah, you can leave whenever you want. Willis...
How much we think it is.
Willis doesn't even look up. He doesn't care.
Leaf
In
just
that
starts
case,
putting...
Velara grabs a bottle of gin and stuffs that
There
in
is
her other saddlebag.
no alcohol here.
Oh.
What?
They heard I was coming.
Alright, then orange juice it is.
You can find some, it's like sweet rose water, but, I mean, all of the tastes that you have in the afterlife are dulled, and you don't necessarily need food. It's more a pleasantry.
Okay.
It's a psychological thing.
Yeah, it's a psychological.
Comfort eating. I
Mhm.
pour a little rose water on my hair.
Okay, you now have damp hair. And it smells very, very faintly like a rose sneezed at it. You have just the inkling of the scent of rose on you.
Leaf puts a whole muffin in his pocket.
It's just sticking out. Which pocket do you put it in? Do you put it in the same pocket as Sebastian?
No, because Sebastian's gonna eat it.
Yeah. I asked.
Sebastian is in a pocket with a couple of good berries, though, just in case he wants them for later.
You look in the pocket that Sebastian is in, and he actually has a good berry in his mouth, and it's so big that he can't close his mouth on it, so he's just holding it. And he looks up at you like he got caught doing something.
No, that's
And then
for
he-
you.
He just holds it. He can't actually chow down on it, but he just holds onto it.
Leaf takes it. bites the good berry in half and puts half of it, holds it down in his pocket for Sebastian to eat.
Sebastian breathes heavily in the way that frogs do, and then eats it whole, and the sides of his mouth kind of conform to the shape of the half of Goodberry, and he's gonna have to sit there and digest that for a minute.
Just pat my pocket.
All right, then. We ready? So let's go.
All right, with the little to no ceremony, you set off. Through the town, you have to cross the bridge, go past the Temple of Sorrows, and you head into the wastes. You leave the city behind. Once again, you're walking through this very arid, rusty-colored terrain. There's not a lot of plant life. Every once in a while, there's a little scrub, maybe some withered-looking heather, no longer purple. And it starts to get rockier and rockier, and the red sand or silt gives way to harder ground. And all you really know right now is to head to the light. There's not really a path that you can follow. I need everybody to make a survival check. Oh!
I'm rolling so poorly. I rolled a 6.
I just rolled a nat 20.
Nice.
3.
Kelen?
And
Okay. Well, thankfully, Leaf, your druid, is at the head of the party and is leading you. And Leaf, as you start to go down what you think is a very gentle incline, Leaf tells you where to step. And a rock on your right dislodges a little bit, and as it starts to fall down this incline, you realize it's a lot steeper than you thought, and one misstep you would have gone sliding. But Leaf's nat 20, leading the way, you find sure footing. Leaf knows exactly what to look for. So you're scrambling around these rocks, and it gets to be more and more rocky, for lack of a better term. And eventually you come out into this trench of rock that gets higher and higher and higher. It kind of looks like Zion. Eventually you are in a very thin canyon, and the rock extends far above you. And every once in a while you have to climb over a boulder that's fallen. This is not a path. It's just a way that you've found through. So it's not well worn. There's not easy places to walk. Sometimes you have to scoot along the edge of a wall and put your feet very, very carefully one after the other to avoid falling into a sheer drop. And several hours pass. Nothing happens. You don't see people out here. You don't see animals either. But eventually, the Rufus, you're the one with the wristwatch, and eventually you notice that it's been about 8 hours. You're a little further towards the light, but it's going to be a long journey. You have no idea what's ahead. You can rest now, you can continue moving, you can do whatever you like.
How's everyone feeling?
Very ready.
Yes, I'm feeling tired, but
I
I don't know. Should we go on for a couple more hours and then rest?
Yeah. I mean, I could do a nap, but I could do a nap whenever.
Let's push on a little more. See how far we can get and then take a nap.
All right.
You continue moving, trudging along through this canyon, essentially. And eventually, every once in a while, you see, out of the corner of your eye, tiny dark shapes moving, and you realize there's scorpions here. Tiny, tiny little scorpions. But you're starting to see signs of life. You go another hour, and then another hour after that, and you see in the distance something circling in the sky. It looks like a vulture of some kind. and it starts to get hotter the further in you go. You are sweating and gross. There's red dust all over you. From your ankles down, you're pretty much coated, and it sticks to the sweat that's dripping down your back. It's disgusting and humid. It starts to feel like you're standing in the doorway of a sauna. But you are closer to the red light.
Daisy's hair starts to turn yellow because she's feeling nervous about what's going on around her.
Is this the first time we're seeing Daisy have a hair change?
Her hair color is
Yeah.
I haven't been saying it, but her hair color changes all the time.
Yeah, you've seen it.
Okay.
It's normal. But you, at this point, you can probably suss out what emotion she's feeling.
Daisy,
Yes.
you know, snag there. Daisy, you're as yellow as a daisy.
Oh yes, it happens when I'm nervous.
Oh, don't be, darling. We're here with you. But
Thank
also, I get it.
It's nice to have friends.
Yeah.
It's also very hot.
But that's fetching on you, that colour.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Her hair turns like a little pink for a second before going back to yellow.
Oh. Sorry.
Cute. Are you continuing on some more hours?
What do you think? Should we?
Maybe we take a rest and, you know, see if anything comes to us in dreams. That seems to be a good thing to happen sometimes to us. Guides us.
Yes, let's take a rest. How do we feel like this is a safe place to take a rest?
If you want to figure that out, you can make either a perception or a survival check. I will let you guys decide. And any number of you can make this choice or make this check.
20, dirty 20 perception.
23 perception.
I just rolled another nat 20.
My God, the
17
dice are on fire.
17 for survival.
8 for both, for
Oh
either.
my gosh, Velara. So the majority of you think that this is not the safest place. You're in a really tight spot, but if you continue moving further ahead, you can see where some of the rock forms sort of an outcropping, and there's almost a little overhang in this giant wall that you can get underneath, and you can unroll some pads, some sleeping pads, and lay down there.
That place looks like a nice spot.
Or to hang my hammock nearby tree.
There are no trees.
Oh,
You can try and hang it on some rocks.
probably I'll just roll out a knapsack.
You do so. You can
Oddly.
all fit underneath if you sort of fan out a little bit. However, Artemis will not be able to fit underneath with you. She's rather.
I'm going to tell Artemis to keep watch while we're sleeping and to wake us up if anything happens.
She stands at your feet as you all get underneath this little overhang. And you nap. Unfortunately, nothing comes to you in your sleep. You toss and turn quite a bit. You get a full rest, but it's humid here. And the air is kind of stifling. It's very thick. But you manage to rest up. And when you look at your little sundial watch, you notice that 8 more hours have gone by.
I mean, this is a long, long journey. We must voyage ahead again.
Start out again?
Anything in the dreams?
No.
No, I'm afraid not.
Not even you, Alyssum.
Somehow no.
All right, we tried. We rested.
Well, let's continue on then.
Let's go.
You roll up your packs and you move forward, and Artemis, pounces after you. You go another 4 hours, and it starts to the floor beneath you starts to incline back up towards where the tops of these giant rock cliff faces are that are on either side of you. They're pressing very close. And as you start to head out, I need everyone to make a perception check for me.
18.
Natural 1.
I also rolled a natural 1, and I think I'm gonna use my advantage at this point.
Okay.
My recap advantage.
6.
17.
Well, I rolled a total of 8, so.
Okay. Daisy and Rufus, you are now at the head of the party. You've sort of scrambled your lineup a little bit. And as you come up out of this incline and you can see your level with the ground that you were on before, you can see way out into the distance, you see a line of figures moving. And they are going opposite of you. They're not close, but there's 15 of them.
The hags.
That's the hags that are going towards us. Or where we were, rather.
Velara, the people in front of you have stopped. And you try to stop as well. But the dust and the rocks underneath your feet give way, and you begin to slide backwards. Can you make an athletics check for me?
Ooh, athletics.
14.
You slide back down the incline very quickly. You don't know what stopped your group. You're making a bit of noise as you slide. It sounds like a little rock fall. And you land on your back with you're just akimbo, spread eagle, with your arms holding you up and your legs holding you up, because your back doesn't hit anything. And all along the side, when you were walking along that path, there was this deeper trench. And you have a feeling that you're holding yourself up from falling into that deeper trench. But you can only hold on for so long.
I'm going to send Artemis to her to help her pull her out.
How is Artemis going to help her? Artemis does not have hands.
How far away is she?
She slid about 25 feet away, down an incline.
So I'm picturing this. We're on like a mountain pathway. The edge,
Yes.
like last Mohican style, the edge gave way, and I'm like spread eagled over a ravine type thing.
Kind of. So you know how Zion is like you're walking on a path between two really tall rock faces
Yeah.
on either side of you? They're like this close. You
Okay.
like press against them a little bit. There's a path where you have to be very careful, but you can walk. But right next to that path on the right, which is what you're hanging over right now, is a deeper recess.
Okay.
Is there a way for me to get to Velara? Like, can I reach her?
25 feet away? You can go to her. You can't reach her from where you are.
Oh yeah, no, but like if I went there, she's
yeah.
not like super high above or below like a
No,
walkway.
so path, sheer drop that she's hanging on, and she has one arm here and one arm like grasping onto a rock, like this.
Okay, I'm gonna
It's like a crack in the floor.
go up to Velara and touch her little hand, or put my little hand on her hand and cast, give her spider climb.
All right. Oh, wow.
Thank
What
you.
Interesting sight. You can now walk on the side of this wall, I think.
Wow.
Like
A
with my
centaur.
hooves. Leaf. What a very handy trick. Wow, the world is so different from out here.
Yeah, so you're all standing this way, and Velara is standing this way on this wall.
Amazing.
I just didn't want you to fall into the crack, and this seemed like the best idea.
Very much appreciated. And how long does this last? I think I might hang out down here.
An hour if I think about it enough.
In that case, Velara like looks down and then shouts back up, I'm going to explore just a little bit down further this ravine.
Okay.
Rufus and Daisy, are you still up at the top?
Yeah.
Okay, you're keeping an eye on this band of hags, and it looks like they, thankfully, did not hear this commotion from where they are, and they are still headed towards the town.
So are they going to be intercepted by us if we
No.
keep going in this direction? Okay, we see them from afar. They're heading
Yeah,
west.
if you hadn't rolled high enough in perception and you had just popped out of this ravine, they definitely would have seen you. But your perception was high enough that you smartly stopped everyone. You stayed in the ravine. So
Daisy,
that was your biggest concern.
Daisy, get the scrying glass. Let's tell Deppin that they're on their way.
Good idea. So I pull out the scrying glass and say, Deppin, Deppin.
You see his face begin to form in the surface of this little mirror. He looks a little bit better put together this time. He says, "Oh, hi. Hi, how are you? Are you all okay?"
Yes, we're fine, but we just saw the band of hags.
Oh.
They just passed by. They're about, how many hours would we say? 8?
You're like a day and a half away.
They're about a day and a half away from the city.
It's 15 of them.
They're
Oh.
15.
Okay, thank you. I'll make sure that the planeswalkers are prepared and that they know that the group of hags is on their way. I think they're going to try and do this fight right outside of town. So that's okay. Good to know. Thank you.
Wish them luck for us.
Yeah, and Deppin, wait. Look.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Look. And he's gonna grab the scrying glass or Daisy's hand and like point it towards Velara.
He watches Velara as she starts to disappear into this ravine, waving, and he's like, "That's amazing! How's she doing that? Is she walking on the wall?
Yeah,
How's she doing that?
I did that.
That's really cool, Leaf. I'm really impressed.
Thanks.
Oh, wish I could do that.
And next time I see you, maybe.
Yeah. I want to walk on the ceiling.
Walk on the ceiling with tiny, tiny little spider hands.
I could do it. It's a good thing you called. I think Joven might be coming back soon with his ally for your fight. I just thought I'd give you a heads up. I could call you again when they're on their way. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll call you guys again later, I guess. Stay safe.
You too.
Okay.
Goodbye, Deppin. Goodbye.
Bye, Deb.
I miss you guys. Bye. Ugh.
Right. So you think it's safe to go? They've passed.
Velara, while you're down in that
Yeah.
cavern, the ravine, you don't see anything special. It looks like a crack that was formed in the earth. It's pretty large. At least large enough for you to walk sideways in it. There's a lot of red dust that's piled at the bottom. It's deep enough that if you'd fallen, it would have hurt, but it doesn't go on forever. But there's no way out of here. In fact, you find a couple of like skeletal remains of some of the vultures that look like they've somehow fallen in here and passed away. But other than that, it's just a ravine.
Right, in that case, I trot back up vertically on the diagonal, and I fall in step behind Leaf.
Right.
It's so interesting. I don't think I've ever seen life from that angle before. You must do this all the time. It's so much fun.
Sometimes.
What other tricks do you have? Like, could you, for instance, make me walk upside down, or perhaps
you can
make
walk
me
upside
fly?
down right now.
You're telling me I could have walked upside down?
Yeah, like if I did that and we had a roof or like a ceiling, you could have been on the ceiling.
But perhaps within the next hour I will see an overhang or something. Very nice, very nice. I'm very impressed.
If she didn't do that, I was going to make you fly.
Rufus, wow! My teammates are full of all sorts of tricks.
Yeah, I haven't done that one in a while. You know? I need to use that.
He was a little scared of heights, Rufus.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Am I? Oh, no, you're asking.
Yes, if
Oh,
you've,
no,
if you've
no,
never
not scared of
flown.
heights at all.
Very well.
So you continue on. Now that these hags are a sufficient distance away, you feel safe enough to continue. You're back on a pretty flat plain, and the longer you walk, the foggier it gets. But eventually you come to realize it's not fog, it's just red dust that's falling. And you're being coated in it. And you have to find something to cover your mouth and your nose, either with your shirt or with a strip of cloth. And you see something on the horizon. It looks like an orchard. But when you get up close, you notice that the ground is brown and cracked. It's salted earth. It's not viable for plant life, and these trees are dead. They're stark white, petrified, very thin, skinny trees. They're very tall. And they start to get thicker and thicker. And in the distance, you see that light. And the light, you can feel it. You can feel a hum in the earth underneath your feet. You can feel some kind of vibration in the air. And the closer you get, the stronger it is. You feel it like shaking your bones. It doesn't hurt, but it's kind of like you're surrounded by a massage chair. Everything is vibrating. Everything is humming. And there's this note in the air that you can very faintly hear that gets louder and louder. And it sounds like just a product of the noise that's being made. And through the trees, suddenly peeks one massive tree in the center. It is huge. It's 4 stories tall. Very, very thick around the trunk. It towers over everything else here. And you see the light coming from inside of the tree, through the branches, bursting up into the sky. And the red dust is heavier than it's ever been. It's like a veil, but you can still see this stark white image of this massive, massive tree. And you've all seen something very similar to this tree before. The thick roots, and you start to see them in the ground around you. And the dust slides right off it.
Chalk tree.
Yeah, that's where they come from.
It's the chalk tree, but even bigger.
So, do you think that they, live inside of it?
Oh, the hags.
Yeah, the hags.
Is chalk flammable?
Could find out.
Daisy, do you know if chalk's flammable?
I don't know. Let me do some. Can I do some? What would that be? History, Arcana.
It would be a nature check, because for all you know, the name of the tree is just a name. It had a chalky texture when Leaf looked at it, but you don't know if it's actually chalk.
Let me see if I can examine it and figure
Yeah,
out.
you can do a nature check. There's one big root that sticks out of the ground and curls, and then sticks back into the ground next to you, so you can look at it.
22.
With a 22, it's not flammable. You take out just a little dagger, a little paring knife, and you cut into it, and you pull a chunk out, and you look at it. It is a dusty substance, which makes you think that it wouldn't be flammable. But yeah, no, it wouldn't be flammable that you would know of.
Don't think this is flammable. Do I have any idea what might hurt it, if anything?
Not really. After you've cut into it, you're sitting there staring at it, and looking at this chunk that you have in your hand, and you notice it starts to secrete some kind of moisture. Yeah.
Yes, does not look flammable.
Very sappy.
I'd like to do a perception check and like look up into the tree because I'm thinking about climbing it like a spider.
Well, it's been several hours, so you would have lost this by now. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, even so, I just want to look up at the branches.
Yeah.
Like, do they go into the fog? Like, or can I see the top of the tree?
You can see the top of the tree. You don't even have to make a perception check for that. I mean, you have to squint, and it's hard to look because the dust is still falling, and it gets in your eyes a little bit. But it just looks like a massive tree with hundreds and hundreds of branches, and they're all bare. It bears no fruit and no leaves at all.
Well, if we want to, well, do we want to destroy this tree?
Don't have a good feeling about it. To be honest with you, I've been thinking of flammable things toward it.
Do you think anyone's in there? Or do you think they've all gone to town? Besides, and where's Neve? She's where the light is, yes?
I think so. I mean, if you really want me to, I could maybe turn into like a little bug, like a scorpion, and go inside or something.
That might be nice.
That
Would it be
very
better
good idea.
if we put you on Calliope?
Or can Calliope just go twiddling about?
Calliope can't speak very well, unfortunately. She can go, she can try and like act things out to me, but
Yeah, I mean, I could turn into something small enough to ride on Calliope's back, or I could,
can you turn invisible?
That's an excellent question.
I could cast invisibility on you. If you shrink yourself into a small but potentially deadly thing, and then I cast invisibility on you.
Could work.
You-
Yeah, I mean, I've passed without trace, but
You could, if you cast invisibility on her when she's with Calliope, they'll both turn invisible. Because she's like on, it's an item on her.
Yes.
so you want something small and deadly.
Perhaps like a poisonous flying.
You did just see scorpions.
Scorpion. Yeah.
And Calliope could fly you in invisibly. You can be a scorpion, and then if something needs to happen,
I feel like
scorpion, I
female
like it.
scorpions are much worse. Oh, is that a praying mantis? Maybe it's a praying mantis. There's a myth about them.
Do you know if you can pick the sex of the animal that you turn into?
Oh yeah, probably can't decide,
Oh
right?
no.
I suppose I don't see why not.
But you know, just because your body is one sex doesn't mean your soul will be anything other. You can, I mean, will be what it wants to be. So, doesn't matter, you know?
What's coming up in that Druid Rolodex of yours?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Your PSA of the day from GGG.
Yeah,
Inclusion for everyone, man.
that's what I was going for, you know?
Yeah.
what do you do?
I'm thinking about scorpions.
I would do a scorpion.
Just one?
Oh, you can be more than one thing?
No.
I would say first inkling, go with it.
You feel a pulse from the light that bursts out a little bit. Time is of the essence.
Okay, Calliope, Leaf is going to turn into a scorpion. Do not eat him. Don't eat the scorpion, okay? The The scorpion is going to ride on your back. You're going to be invisible, sneak around, but let him tell you what to do. Listen to the scorpion. Can scorpions talk?
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
I
think
was-
you'll be able to communicate.
I was gonna cast Beast Bond, but I can't because you're not a beast.
Oh.
Just Calliope, fly around, do a little exploration. If 1 tap means stop, 2 taps mean go. Any other important things, Leaf, that you want to be able to tell Calliope?
3, go back.
Go back, yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or just incessant tapping means go back, okay? All right, you ready?
All right, so Leaf, you turn yourself into a scorpion?
I sure do.
All right, there's this popping sound as where Leaf was standing. There's a faint cloud of smoke, and suddenly you see a small scorpion.
I set Calliope next to it and let Leaf climb on top.
All right, Calliope seems completely unbothered by this.
So I'm actually going to cast invisibility on Calliope because that way they both can be
Mhm.
invisible.
Yep,
And
you can
anything
do that.
Calliope is wearing or carrying. So
can do that.
yeah,
All right,
All
that's what I do.
go stealthily search around inside this tree house situation. And remember, 1 tap means stop, 2 taps mean go, and incessant tapping means go back to us here. All right?
Calliope nods, and with that, she takes off. So, Leaf, you are on the back of this very quickly moving hummingbird. What's her speed?
Her speed is 30 feet.
30 feet. She's moving very quickly. She is able to carry you on her back, despite the fact that you are almost the exact same size, if not a little bit bigger. She brings you through the forest quickly, darting around trees. And she gets to the base of the tree, and in one of these massive roots, big enough for at least 3 people to walk side by side on top of it, you see what looks like a very crude staircase carved in. You go up the staircase, and at the front of the staircase, a fair amount up the tree, you see an opening that's just been sawn in. Calliope brings you inside. Inside of the tree, it looks almost completely hollow. There are what looks like roots, and if you rip open a log, there's lots of fiber on the inside. You see fiber walls almost that you can see through. And they separate several rooms on the bottom floor. But in the center, illuminated from the red light coming from above it, you see a spiral staircase made of that same white wood, carved into what looks like the core of the tree. And in this core, it's like a pole, a thick pole, and this spiral staircase is going up around the pole. In the pole, you see what almost look like veins. It's not blood, but it's like the rings in a tree almost. It's that fibrous material, but there's something about it that makes you think of like a nervous system or veins. What would you like to do?
I just like to see if I notice any hags inside the building.
You see no one on this floor. You can dart between rooms. You can see through the walls because it's just that fibrous material, so there's lots of openings in the walls. You see empty bedrolls. You see some cauldrons. You see some what look like desks and little armoires that hold spices and ingredients. Some that are a little grotesque. But you don't see anyone.
And does the staircase go up still?
It does.
I'd
It's
like
in the
to
center.
go up.
All right, you go up, and it's the same thing. It's just another floor of these fibrous walls and these empty rooms. You don't see a single soul. And there's another spiral staircase that goes up.
I'd like to go up.
You go up again, the same thing, and a spiral staircase in the center.
No one around?
No one around.
Can I go up anymore?
Yes.
Oh, then let's
You
keep going up. I want to make
can
sure this
go
building
up.
is empty.
3 more flights. And you come to this top floor. And it's a floor that's carved so it can stand on some branches, but there are other branches that are growing on top of it. So there's another platform above you. And this floor has no one. But here, you're close to... You still haven't found the source of the light, but you see the light and you feel the light. And the vibration here is so heavy. It almost feels like heavier gravity. You feel this deeply. But you don't see anyone here. There's one more floor.
I would like to check the last floor, please.
All right. Everyone else downstairs, out in the forest. It's been about 30 minutes now. And you notice slowly, because your attention is focused on this tree where your friend just disappeared, the light is getting stronger, and that beam is getting bigger. The longer you wait, the bigger the beam is. Leave. Roll a stealth check for me. And Daisy, I need you to roll a stealth check for Calliope.
Does the invisibility help at all?
You don't know?
Let me see it. I don't think so. It doesn't say anything about it.
18 for Calliope.
Okay.
That'll be 11.
Okay. Calliope is still kind of in charge here. She feels very cautious, rolling an 18. And she slowly edges up so that you can see over the edge onto this last platform. Here, there's a canopy of branches above you. In the center, you see what looks like a desecrated altar. It's a cauldron that's been broken in half. In the center, there's something. You don't know what, but this is where the light's coming from. It is bright, almost blindingly bright. And here, now, you can see something twisting inside the light and going up. Faces. They're faint, but you see faces. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of faces shooting up through this beam to wherever they're going. And you see a figure, shadowed, standing in front of the light, between you and this light. You can see the light filtering around the shape. It's hunched over, wearing tattered robes, white robes. You see through the empty eyes of a horse skull. You see 4 arms holding various items, a staff, a scimitar that glows, and it looks like it's dripping light. You see a stone held in one hand, maybe? It's kind of hard to make out. But the figure is standing in front of the light, saying something. You don't know what.
Is there a faster way for me to get down? Like, instead
You
of
can go-
going all the way down, could we,
Yeah,
like,
you
just
can go
fly?
outside of the tree and go down, yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that.
All right, you zip off, and you can tell underneath you, Calliope's shaking. She's terrified of whatever's up there.
I'll take my little scorpion claw and, like, pat her head.
She's still shivering. An hour and some odd minutes after the 4 of you saw Leaf, you see a tiny shape coming at you. And eventually, Calliope crashes into Daisy's shoulder, and she hides behind your hair.
Oh, goodness.
gonna-
Calliope,
Crawl out.
is everything okay? Oh, is that you, Leaf? Are you all right?
I'll jump off Daisy's shoulder and drop Wild Shape.
Oh, thank God. I was worried.
So, the tree's empty, but Neve's at the top.
I'm sorry, what?
The tree's empty, but Neve's at the top.
Neve? What is Neve doing?
The light, doing the light, hunched over, being generally really creepy, and magic.
Daisy, you can feel Calliope shaking against the back of your neck.
Oh, sweet girl.
Yeah, Calliope got really freaked out.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay, baby.
You have this connection with Calliope. You can't really talk to each other, but you kind of can. You get vibes from her. It's almost a telepathic connection, and you feel fear. You feel dread. There's
In
something
that moment,
dark.
Her, Daisy's hair turns black.
I can, should we go invisible, maybe? I mean, what's the plan? Do we want to attack? Do we want to come up with a strategy before we attack?
Well, the good news is the rest of the tree's empty. So, if we just go up the tree, we could probably, you know,
I just
all
would.
get her at once.
Now, we know that Neve is being controlled or working for Oral, correct?
I think someone said something like that.
That is what I recall.
I don't know if it was controlled necessarily so much as like, I don't know.
Eyes.
Look,
The light pulses and grows again.
but
And Leaf, roll an insight check for me.
14.
You get the sense that the bigger this light is, the more souls are being funneled through it.
Yeah, so whatever we got to do it now because in the light are faces, and I think those are souls that Neve is funneling up.
All right, I have an idea.
Wait, I just remembered something. I don't know if this is connected, but in that fable that I got from the library, the boy said he fell down a mountain or something, and there were faces all along the inside. And then he said, I made it. I wonder if it's connected. I don't know. I just wanted to share that.
Well, if we have to stop these souls, and she's in there doing it now and sending them to the wrong place and all that, can we get in this tree for this big?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big tree.
Oh,
It's a massive tree, Kellen. It's like
like
4 stories high. It's huge.
The hags live here.
Yeah.
It's a bill. I thought they were magical hags, you know.
Okay. There's something I haven't told any of you, and there's something that I need to show you. Just don't be scared, okay?
Okay.
All right. And
Oh, no.
with that, horns start to grow from Daisy's head, and feathers start to sprout all around her, and all of a sudden she starts to look like Oral. And
Yes.
so I'm a changeling. Don't worry, I'm not Oral.
Oh my god.
You really had us for a second. I had goosebumps all down my arm.
I had my crossbow at the ready.
My family's rather ashamed of being changelings, and so we've been in hiding our whole life, but I think this is an important time for me.
This is a very important time. Perhaps can you fly as Oral and fly up to her and misguide her?
Well, what I'm thinking is, because I would like your support, you all come in invisible behind me, and I try and convince Neve to stop it.
The light pulses again, and you realize there's less and less time between these pulses. It's growing rapidly.
I have 2 rounds of invisibility left. I can carry 2 small people, so I can carry Leaf and I can carry Rufus and cast invisibility on myself once, and that will make the 3 of us invisible, and then I can cast it.
I have it too, so I could cast on someone
I will cast it on Alyssum, and that will leave me 1 second spell slot.
Invisibility on myself and 1 other creature.
Oh, yeah, great.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
And so we start going.
All right.
Well, I remember what Oral's voice sounds like, because I'm going to change my voice and everything to look and sound like Oral.
Indeed you do. So you make haste, knowing that time is of the essence. Again and again, this idea is pounded into your head. You have very little time.
Are Roof and Leaf riding me?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone turns invisible except for Arl Davy Arl. You book it straight into the tree. You go up these stairs. Your hearts are pounding. Your lungs are burning again from this exercise, but you make it to the top. Daisy, what are you doing?
I'm steeling myself and getting ready. We make it all the way to the top?
You do. Easy. Yeah. There's no one else here.
And I say, Neve, stop what you are doing.
All right.
In my best Oral impression. I forget what Oral's voice sounds like.
So you are standing on this upper platform. You see exactly what Leaf saw. You see this cracked cauldron. You see this bright light coming from it. You see the faces in it. And there's now thousands of faces drifting in this mist, in this light. And this figure turns around. And as it speaks, the teeth chatter a little bit because it is a skull. And you can't, there's no expression on the face, but you can hear a smile in the voice as it says, I see you. You thought you could fool a god. All of you. And she's looking at all of you that are invisible.
Oh, that's right.
I see you.
Cool.
Uh-oh.
She lifts her staff. But just as she does so, you hear a crash behind you in the staircase. And up pops a massive black cauldron. And from these openings on the side sprout 4 mechanical legs. And standing inside the cauldron, guiding it, driving it, is an elven woman with long white hair and a navy robe. Rowena, your ally, jumps out of the cauldron behind you. And she lifts her staff, ready to fight. And that's where we're going to end this episode.
Oh my god.
So next episode is the last episode. That's going to be our finale. And we are going to have this special guest.
Yay!
10 guesses who they're playing. I'm sure it's obvious. But thank you for joining us.
Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast. I'm Kim Daugherty at Kim Daugherty _.
I'm Erika Fermina at A Style Pixie everywhere.
I'm Alice Greczyn at Alice Greczyn.
I'm Kelen Coleman at Kelen Coleman, but on Twitch, I'm Dranishka.
I'm Allie Gonino. You can find me at go_Nino on all of the things.
Be sure to check out Rachel and
Rachel Seeley
stream
at Sunny Seeley everywhere. Tune in for our last episode of this season, and we'll see you for the final battle.
Bye.